Now this is a second question. An exercise for strengthening muscle is illustrated below. Explain why is it much harder to hold your leg still in position A than it is to hold it still in position B. Use the diagram to assist your explanation. So this is all about explanation. There is no calculation required. This is not an estimation. So you have to explain why it's harder to maintain your leg position when it's B compared to A. So this is the question related to torque. Number one thing that you have to do is that you have to identify the pivot here. So the pivot for this case is that it's somewhere around here. Yeah, it is maybe with a dot over here, somewhere around here. Make it a pivot, just name something about it, just call it point S here, just your backside over here. And then you need to identify that there is this center of mass for both of your legs. Okay, assuming both of your legs having the same mass, is that the center of mass, I would say that let us assume that your leg, the mass is uniform. By right, it's not there. However, maybe just estimate that just slightly above the knee, this is the center of mass for one leg, and also one more is maybe here, slightly above the knee. Okay, so these are center of mass, and what I can do next is that dot is missing. Let me draw a line. So this is the force, the line of force due to the weight, and this one disappeared just now. Let me draw another one. This is another line of force. Alright, so how do you use the idea of torque to explain this? You can do by asking yourself, if you want to compare the W1 and W2, what would be the difference? And one simple assumption is W1 is equals to W2. Just assume that both of your mass over here is the same. And what's related with the torque here right now, tau equals to Rf. And F here referring to the force that we assume both are the same. So what's the determining factor for the torque here is the R. R here is the lever arm. Okay, it's not distance, it's not radius. Okay, so lever arm is the shortest distance from the pivot to the line of force. So right now, what maybe I can do is that I'm going to ask you that, to tell you that the shortest distance between W1 and the pivot point, you might call it R1. Okay, and another shortest distance from point S to W2, we call it R2. So it is obvious that R1 is greater than R2. Okay, if that's the case, what I want to conclude is that the torque at position A will be larger than the torque at position B. Okay, simply because your R1 is greater than your R2. Okay, so there is this larger torque acting on your leg A, and what you need to do next is that certainly your muscle need to exert more force in order to counter the torque. So for this part, I'm going to tell you the reason. The complete solution is given in the e-learn. What I'm doing here is that perhaps I'm not going to write all the details here. I want to highlight that why position A is more difficult, because the lever arm is longer. That's all. Thank you.